Well, hello everyone, Sheila back again. And as you can see, I have given in. I'm knitting with those little needles with the cables attached. I went down to Hobbycraft this morning and had a look, and they only had the one size in the 80 centimetre cables, which I thought, oh, that'll be all right, because my needles were 40 centimetres, so I've got the width of two needles here. It is still a little bit tightly thingy. If there'd been any longer ones, I would have got longer ones in case I wanted to do anything else, but I'm quite enjoying knitting with them actually. See, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but this old dog's learned a new trick. They're easier to knit with than I thought. And they're quite easy. It's not the same as knitting with two small needles, you know, the small needles that I've tried knitting with before, and I can't get away with them. But I don't know whether it's the shape, because they're all curved, they go down there, whether it's anything to do with that. But there's something else that's good about these. I can sit on my chair and knit with these. I can't knit with the needles on my chair because the needles keep hitting the sides of the chair, so that's another good thing as well. And I started knitting with these. I've been doing a little bit of everything today. I finished off the set of coasters that I wanted to put up on my Etsy shop. I just needed to sew the ends, a couple of ends in on them, where I start with and what I finish with, because I wrap all the ends around when I'm changing colours. So I wanted to do that, and then I had the bands to put on a little cardigan I want to put up on my Etsy shop as well, and the buttons to put on. So that's what I've been doing anyway. So I haven't had much actual knitting. I just did this, finished this. I put the two bands down the front, you know, because I like to sew the well, not sew the bands, but do them sideways on small ones. I think it's easier than knitting them like separate and then stitching. It saves you having to stitch the bands on afterwards. So this is another little 18-inch rosebud lace one. I've just taken one or two photographs. I'm going to put it up on my Etsy shop. Go with the other ones. I've already put the coasters up, so I've only got 3 lots of coasters up at the moment. The white ones and the red, and the ones with the red in the centre and the white around the edge, and the ones with the green in the centre and the red around the edge. And I also started, this is the cardigan I'm doing for we're on 2 now, 2. I'm doing for Claudette. I did start it off on these red needles, but I was having trouble seeing the stitches with the colour, the red. Well, this is a needle that I was using on this here. It's the same size, a 5.5mm, so I've started putting them onto this needle, and I'll use the other needle when I finish this, take the side off, because it's hard to see with it being a dark colour. It's hard for me to see the stitches properly on the against the red needle. These were some needles that Dagry sent to me quite a while ago, and they were the right size anyway, but they'd be okay doing on a light coloured wool, but they're no good on for me on the black. Well, this is charcoal actually, but I've sorted out a pattern for that's what I'm going to do for Claudette's cardigan. She wants it probably a little bit shorter than this, because this one's from the neck down to the edge is 24.5, and Claudette just wants it 22. she wants it a bit shorter, so I'll probably be doing a little bit less of the rib here, but it is quite a deeper. It's not an ordinary rib. It's not an ordinary knit one, pearl one. It's a different kind of rib anyway. So I'm only hoping that I've got two big balls like this that Claudette sent to me, and I'm only hoping that there is enough, because this one, I've got 600 grams, and this cardigan, I have to do it to measure 50 inches for Claudette, and for this size that I'm doing, the pattern actually only goes up to 44, but the number of stitches is far too many. I'm not even doing the biggest size on here to get the right number of stitches, so with hers being a little bit shorter, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, Claudette, that there is going to be enough. Otherwise, you're going to end up with 3/4 sleeves. So that's what I'm doing with that one anyway. But it says the pattern goes up to 44, and I did a swatch on 5mm needles, but I've changed to 5.5mm because I did a swatch and I thought it was quite too close together. The stitches it made the little swatch a little bit hard, so I'm doing it on 5.5mm, and I'm not even doing the largest size because I got the size to 102 stitches for the back of the 50 inch, and this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only on the 40 inch, so anybody doing the number of stitches there it says on this pattern, it's going to come out massive. But I'm doing anyway. It said for the cardigan, for that size, it says 700 gram balls. I'm doing it a bit shorter, so I am hoping there's going to be enough. But anyway, I will find out when I start knitting it. I've tried to measure. I've got the stitches across there like that and across like there, and it actually says measures 25 inches, but it is stretched. I'll find out when I get a few more rows done. But some of these patterns just have far too many stitches for the size, and they are even talking on a smaller size needle. But that's what I've been doing today. I'll be putting these down anyway. I'm going out. It's 5 o'clock now, and I'll be leaving about 6:30 to pick my friend up for our bingo, and hope I have a bit more luck than since we changed to this other place. I've had no luck whatsoever with the bingo. But I suppose you cannot win every week. Every time it's before we changed, but there wasn't a lot of us in the place we went to before, but this place is a massive place and there's a lot. We might as well be in the gala bingo. I think there are good money to win. There's only one fella comes with us. He comes with his girl, and he won 150 last week, and then his girl, she won 60, so they had over £200 between the two of them. Nothing for the rest of us, like. But that'll be my night, so I'll need some luck. So wish me luck anyway. I'm doing a little bit of this, but I'm just going to finish a bit of this row, and I'm going to do a little bit of Claudette's before I go out, because I was keeping this of a night time with it being a light colour, but it's been dark all day. I think I put my light on about 3 o'clock. It was so dark. I'm not sure whether that's the, getting around about 2:30 is the time it gets dark anyway, but it's just been a terrible dark day and hard to see what you were doing actually. But I think since I've been knitting with these, I think my tension will get a bit better, because having all the stitches pushed up on the needle and all that, I couldn't really see what my tension was like on the knitting, because even when I split between two needles, they were still bunched up and I couldn't see. At least I can thingy it out on here when I'm knitting. This is well, you know where I'm doing the poncho, but this was done on, the original one is done on super chunky, and it's done on, this actual pattern is done on 9mm needles. Well, I'm using 5.5mm, and for using it as Aran. So instead of the number of rows, it just tells me, it has a list. I don't know if you can see down the side there. It has a list of the number of rows of each colour I have to do. Well, I'm working it in inches instead of rows. So I've worked out how many inches there is in each number of rows. They've wrote down here, going by their tension, because the tension on here is, I'm trying to find it on the gauge, 8 stitches and 13 rows to 4 inches. So that's what I've worked out from that. And I've worked out each number of rows, it is in inches, and that's what I'm measuring, going to measure this in inches. I have to do 4 inches of this colour and then change to the darker, it's like a mustard colour, but they call it ochre or something like that. Looks like mustard to me. But anyway, I'm doing this colour next, and I'm not far onto that now. So that's where you have to work things out for yourself. You have to work out the measurements and everything as well. So that's my little bit for now. I'm going to make myself some tea and then probably sit down for half an hour and do a bit more knitting before I go out, and then I'll probably pick this up when I come back. So the thumbs up and subscribe. Bye for now. I'll catch you another time.